Hi, hello and welcome to my channel, the ESG Hub. I'm Dr. Ankita Kashyap, and today I bring a very important topic on ESG. Yes, I'm talking about the budget 2024, the ESG highlights. Now, very recently, Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman came out with the budget, and here I am to provide quick highlights on what are the pertinent points that are made on ESG. So if you are interested, please watch till the end of this video. We have a lot of points that we need to discuss around the ESG highlights. Please make sure that you've subscribed to my channel and also hit the bell icon for the alerts. Now, without wasting any more time, let's dwell straight into what is the budget, talks about the ESG points. Now, India's latest budget showcases that there is a strong commitment to sustainability and economic growth. As we move on, you will see that there are significant impacts that are laid down in this year's budget, and it all revolves around renewable energy, green technologies, and also job creation. So, with a major push towards biofuels, electric vehicles, and R&D, this budget aims to accelerate India's transition to a greener economy. And it also aims to achieve its net zero targets by 2070. So before that, we start with the India's vision. So India's vision for 2047 is very clear. There is an aim that India has for economic development, and it talks about ESG progress that it wants to make by 2047. And with respect to this, India also publishes its progress report. That's an annual progress report as per the UN SDGs that is prepared every year and submitted. So we do see a lot of uptake for ESG at our national level as well. Now, what did we discuss in today's budget? First was, or rather, is the renewable energy boost. Now, the budget for the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy that has been increased to rupees 128.5 billion, or if I can convert this into crores, it will be rupees 12,850 crores. That's the budget that has been sanctioned. It's a whooping budget for the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and it definitely shows a clear focus of our government on solar power and the National Green Hydrogen Mission. So all this is being done because India is a supporter for the net zero emissions, and we target to have net zero emissions by 2070. And all these mechanisms and measures that are being taken up by the government are supporting those goals as well. Now, next, we talk about the solar power expansion. Now, in order to reduce our fossil fuel reliance, which we all know that, too much reliance on fossil fuels is bad for our environment. So the Indian government has also increased the allocation towards enhancing solar grid. And allocation this year has increased significantly. The budget that has been allocated for financial year 24-25 is rupees 8,500 crores, which is almost 70% more as compared to the last year. So you can see a great significance being given to the solar power expansion and enhancing the solar grids. Now, related to this, another development in this year's budget is with respect to the Pradhan Mantri I'll repeat that again, Pradhan Mantri Suryodaya Yojana. Now, the target is to install solar panels on 1 crore houses, providing 300 units of free electricity monthly. Every month, these houses are going to get free electricity. Now, one good point about this particular Yojana is definitely that there will be a lot of people who will be getting the energy and the electricity that is definitely required, specifically in the rural parts of our country. But this also means that you are boosting the economic growth. How? By creating a lot of jobs for installation and maintenance of these solar panels and solar grids. So all this is very helpful in the entire economic growth as well, and will definitely lead to a lot of job creation. So from that perspective also, this PM Yojana is definitely quite a significant step here. Next, we come to the biofuels advancements. Now, in this year budget, as you can see on your screens, there's a whooping investment that is being done in compressed biogas. So, investment of 37,500 crore of rupees in 750 compressed biogas projects, and another rupees 564.75 crores for the biomass machinery. Now, for those of you who's wondering what is compressed biogas, now compressed biogas is actually similar to compressed natural gas when it comes to its properties. So CNG fuel, you must have all heard about. It's very similar to its properties in that respect. But compressed biogas is a renewable source, and hence it can be used as a green fuel. And the projects that use this compressed biogas has various benefits, like it helps to enhance waste management, definitely promotes clean energy as a solution, and it brings down our reliance on an imported gas that I mentioned is the compressed natural gas or CNG. Next, coming to the electric vehicles, the EVs, there's a lot of uptake on hybrid electric vehicles and even electric vehicles. So the bone of contention, or I would say a bottleneck on adaptation of electric vehicles, is solely because of the lack of EV infrastructure, if I can say. So the government is investing a lot to boost this EV infrastructure with this very specific goal of 30% EV sales by 2030. So this is a goal that the government has established and is pumping in a lot of money for that. To give boost to the electric vehicles, which is definitely so much better for the environment. Now, as I mentioned, the bottleneck has always been, the lack of infrastructure. And FAME that you see here actually stands for faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles. So India's plan for clean transportation is always supported by FAME, as we call it, the acronym, which stands for faster adaptation and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles. Now, FAME in its first two phases, that is FAME 1 and FAME 2, have been building the infrastructure which is needed to get more EVs on the road. But as I said that, we need an upgraded plan for that. So government has come up with upgraded FAME 3 scheme, wherein they will be providing financial incentives for encouraging the adoption of electric two-wheelers and three-wheelers vehicles, as well as government-owned buses. So increase funding to address the current gaps in the charging stations, ensuring seamless adoption of EVs nationwide is something that is being targeted by the government, and what we see is also talked about in this year's budget as well. Next, we come to the research and development investment. Now, ESG, when we talk about all forms of green technologies, is heavily reliant on the right kind of research and development, and government has recognized that, and they have provided a corpus of 1 trillion rupees to provide long-term financing. Now, they are allocating these financing through a 50-year interest-free loans, especially in the sunrise sectors, as we call it, such as the green fuel, green farming, and green mobility. And this will definitely act as a stimulant in the clean energy and the sustainability domain when we'll be looking at this kind of investment coming their way. So this is it on the various budget highlights. But to add on, there is one more development where we are awaiting few more details as we speak. This is called as the climate finance taxonomy. Now, the government intends to support the climate commitments and the green transitions, but what exactly will be this finance taxonomy? Our hunch is that it will be influenced by what we have today in the Europe, which we call as the EU's taxonomy, will be in line with those international standards and guidelines, but we are still awaiting more details. And please stay tuned to our channel, and we will be updating any fresh updates that we get around this. And lastly, there are also various employment schemes considering the social part of ESG as well. These employment schemes have also been talked about in this year's budget, and they are being proposed. So there are 3 schemes that you see on your screens here. First scheme is 1-month wage support for new entrants to the workforce. Scheme B is again job creation in the manufacturing sector, and which is supposed to help 30 lakh youths in the employment generation. And scheme 3 is the employer support for additional employees across sectors. Again, these are only a few schemes and the highlights of which that we know as of now. The further details and the breakup of all of this is what we are going to provide as we get this from our government, and we will be putting it here on our channel. If you like this video, please circulate it in your network, and thank you for being here. Like the video if you have liked it, and share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.